Ever felt like you're chasing something just out of reach? Like happiness, peace, or enlightenment? What if I told you that the very thing you're chasing is actually a trap? Today, we're exploring Zen Case number 5, the finger pointing at the moon. This is one of the most misunderstood teachings in all of Zen. And here's the kicker: if you think you already understand it, you've already missed the point. Let me ask you, what if all your spiritual practices, your meditation apps, your mindfulness books, what if they are all just fingers pointing at the moon? And you've been staring at the finger this whole time. That's not just a metaphor. It's a direct challenge to how you think. So take a breath. Let go of what you think you know. Because by the end of this video, you might realize that the moon has been here all along, and you've been too busy looking at the finger to see it. Imagine a child who sees a signpost pointing to a hidden treasure. The child becomes so fascinated with the signpost itself, its color, its shape, the way it stands, that he never follows the direction. He polishes the signpost, he talks about it, he even builds a shrine around it. Years pass, and the treasure remains unfound. That's us with spiritual teachings. We adore the words, the rituals, the gurus, but we never actually look where they point. The moon is not a distant celestial body, it's the direct, unfiltered experience of life. It's the feeling of the wind on your skin, the taste of a strawberry, the sound of a child's laughter. But we miss all that because we're hypnotized by the finger. Historians note that this teaching emerged in a time when scriptural study had become obsessive. Monks would memorize thousands of sutras but never meditate. The finger pointing at the moon was a radical call to return to direct experience. In a world of information overload, it's more relevant than ever. So ask yourself, are you collecting fingers, or are you seeing the moon? Here's the counterintuitive insight: the finger is not the enemy. The problem isn't that we use pointers, teachings, or concepts. The problem is that we get addicted to them. We mistake the map for the territory. Think about it: you read a book about meditation, and you feel like you've made progress. You watch a video about enlightenment, and you think you're closer to it. But that's just mental masturbation. The finger is pointing, but you're licking the finger instead of looking where it points. In Zen, this is called mistaking the finger for the moon. And it's the most common spiritual trap. Even the Buddha warned about this. He said, "My teachings are like a raft. Use it to cross the river, but don't carry it on your head once you're on the other side." But we do exactly that. We carry the raft. We polish the finger. We worship the words. And we miss the direct experience. The moon is not a concept. It's not something you can think about. It's something you see. But your mind is so busy analyzing, categorizing, and labeling that you never actually look. So here's the question: can you drop the finger for just one moment? Can you stop trying to understand and just be? That's the only way to see the moon. Consider the story of a Zen student who asked his teacher, "What is the ultimate truth?" The teacher simply held up a flower. The student was baffled. He thought the flower was a symbol, koan. He spent days analyzing it. Finally, the teacher said, "You are missing the flower itself. The truth is that you are looking at a flower. That's it." The student had been so busy interpreting the finger that he never saw the moon. In modern terms, this is like someone who reads a recipe for chocolate cake, studies it, memorizes it, and even frames it on the wall, but never actually bakes the cake. The cake is the moon. The recipe is the finger. You can't taste the recipe. You can only taste the cake. So stop licking the finger. Start living the experience. The next time you feel anxious, don't label it anxiety and reach for a self-help book. Just feel the sensation in your body. That raw feeling is the moon. The label is the finger. Which one are you choosing? This teaching comes directly from the Zen tradition, specifically from a koan attributed to the great master Linji. But its roots go even deeper. In the Lankavatara Sutra, the Buddha says, the teaching is like a finger pointing to the moon. Do not mistake the finger for the moon. This is not just a warning about scriptures. It's a warning about the nature of the mind itself. The mind loves to create symbols. Words, images, concepts, they are all fingers. But reality is not a symbol. It's raw, direct, and immediate. When you see a tree, your mind says, tree. But that word is not the tree. The word is a finger. The tree is the moon. And yet, we live our entire lives in a world of fingers. We argue about which finger is better. We collect fingers. We show off our fingers. But we never look at the moon. In ancient China, this was understood as a fundamental misunderstanding of the way. The Taoists called it the uncarved block, the original, unlabeled reality. Zen just gave it a more direct, confrontational expression. The koan isn't meant to be solved. It's meant to break your attachment to solving. It's a finger that points at your own mind. And when you see that, you realize that the moon isn't out there. It's the one looking. Historically, this teaching was a direct response to the scholasticism of the time. In the Tang dynasty, Buddhist study had become an academic exercise. Monks would debate the finer points of doctrine for years. Lingji and other Zen masters saw this as a trap. They used shocking methods, shouts, blows, and paradoxical statements, to jolt students out of conceptual thinking. The finger pointing at the moon is one of those jolts. It's not meant to be analyzed, it's meant to be seen. Imagine you're in a dark room, and someone shines a flashlight on a door. You could study the flashlight, its brand, its beam, its color, or you could walk through the door. The flashlight is the finger. The door is the moon. Which will you choose? The choice is yours, but the door is open. You just have to stop examining the light and step through. Let me tell you a story. There's a famous Zen story about a monk who asked his master, what is the meaning of the patriarch coming from the West? This is a classic Zen question, basically asking, what is the ultimate truth? The master replied, the cypress tree in the courtyard. The monk was confused. He said, Master, I don't understand. The master said, the cypress tree in the courtyard. The monk kept pushing. He wanted a conceptual answer. He wanted a finger. But the master was pointing at the moon. The cypress tree wasn't a metaphor. It was just the tree. The master was saying, look directly. Don't think about it. See it. But the monk couldn't. He was too busy trying to figure out the riddle. And that's exactly what we do. We turn everything into a riddle. We want the secret. We want the formula. But there is no secret. There's just the cypress tree. There's just the moon. There's just this moment. And you're missing it because you're looking for something else. I once heard a teacher say, enlightenment is like the moon reflected in water. The water is never disturbed. But the moon is always there. And I thought, that's beautiful. But then I realized I was just collecting another finger. The real teaching is to stop collecting. To stop. And look. There's another story about a man who traveled far and wide to find a wise master. When he finally arrived, the master was sweeping the floor. The man asked, what is the secret of enlightenment? The master continued sweeping and said, I sweep the floor. The man said, but I want the ultimate teaching. The master said, when you are hungry, eat. When you are tired, sleep. That is the ultimate teaching. The man was disappointed. He had expected something grand. But the master was pointing at the moon. The moon is not in some distant heaven, it's in the simple, ordinary actions of life. The man had been so focused on finding a special teaching that he missed the moon right in front of him. So here's the practical takeaway. The next time you're doing something mundane, washing dishes, walking the dog, brushing your teeth, don't think about it. Just do it. Be fully present. That's the moon. That's enlightenment. It's not somewhere else. It's here, in the cypress tree, in the sweeping, in the breath. Can you see it? So how does this apply to modern life? Let's be real, we are drowning in fingers. Your phone is a finger. Your social media feed is a finger. Every self-help book, every podcast, every guru, they are all fingers. And you're scrolling, reading, listening, all day long. But have you actually looked at the moon? Here's the thing, mindfulness is not about more techniques. It's about dropping techniques. When you meditate, you're not trying to achieve anything. You're just sitting. And in that sitting, you might see the moon. But if you're meditating to get enlightened, you're just polishing the finger. The real practice is to notice when you're gripping the finger. When you're anxious about the future, that's a finger. When you're replaying the past, that's a finger. Even your identity, your name, your story, your beliefs, that's a finger. And the moon? The moon is the present moment. It's the raw experience of being alive right now. It's the feeling of your breath. The sound of the rain. The taste of your coffee. But you're not tasting the coffee. You're tasting the idea of coffee. You're not hearing the rain. You're thinking about the rain. That's the trap. So here's a modern challenge. For the next hour, try to have no thoughts. Just experience. No labels. No judgments. No inner commentary. See how long you last. You'll probably fail in 5 seconds. But that failure is the beginning of wisdom. Because it shows you how addicted you are to fingers. And that awareness is the first step to looking at the moon. Consider the example of a busy executive who practices mindfulness to reduce stress. He uses an app, follows guided meditations, and tracks his progress. But he's still stressed because he's treating mindfulness as another goal to achieve. He's polishing the finger. The real practice would be to simply sit and be aware of his breath without any agenda. No goals, no expectations. Just presence. That's the moon. The app is just a finger. The executive needs to put down the app and just be. In the same way, you might be using this video as a finger. You're listening to words, hoping to gain insight. But the insight is not in the words. It's in the silence between them. It's in the moment when you stop thinking and just listen. So here's a radical suggestion. After this video, don't watch another one. Don't read a book. Don't seek another teaching. Just sit in silence for 5 minutes. That silence is the moon. Everything else is a finger. Can you do that? And here's the final MIC drop insight. The moon is not something you ever need to find. It's already here. The finger is pointing, but the moon is what's doing the pointing. You are the moon. You are the awareness that sees the finger. And you are the finger too. This is the non-dual teaching of Zen. There is no separation. The seeker and the sought are one. When you realize that, the whole search collapses. You don't need to become enlightened. You are already enlightened, but you're too busy looking for enlightenment to notice. It's like a fish searching for the ocean. Or like a person looking for their glasses while wearing them. So here's the truth, you can't miss the moon. It's impossible. Because you are the moon. The only thing you can miss is the realization. And that realization is not a thought. It's a direct seeing. So stop pointing. Stop searching. Stop trying. Just be. And in that being, the moon reveals itself. Not as an object, but as your own true nature. So the next time you see a finger pointing at the moon, don't look at the finger. Don't even look at the moon. Look at who's looking. That's the real koan. And that's the real answer. Thank you for watching. If this video pointed you toward the moon, share it with someone who's still staring at their finger. And remember, the moon is always full. You just have to stop looking away. There's a final story that captures this perfectly. A student asked his master, "How can I see the moon?" The master said, "Look." The student looked around and said, "I don't see it." The master said, "You're looking with your eyes. See with your mind." The student closed his eyes and tried to visualize the moon. The master laughed. "No," he said. "Don't see with your mind. See with your being. The moon is not an object. It is the subject. It is you. Stop trying to see it, and you will see it." The student was silent. And in that silence, he saw not a moon in the sky, but the moon of his own awareness. That's the teaching. That's the point. And that's the end of the finger. Now, go and be the moon.